Hey guys, Paul Morrow here again for opsdesk.org. I want to do a quick recap right now on Tuesday, 1 July, relative to the Brian Kohberger case, because this is flying all over the place. I was just on the air on it in regard, and I want to clear up a couple of things about where I see this thing going and what I think happened. First of all, I think you likely had a deal that's been sitting on the table from the prosecution to the defense. It's been sitting on the table all along here. And finally, the defense just ran out of runway. They tried this alibi thing. The judge slapped that down, said, stargazing is your alibi? I don't think so. They tried this alternative perp theory that there were 4 other possibles that could have done it. The judge said, you have absolutely no indicia that any of these people were even remotely involved. You're not introducing that. They've lost every motion, pretty much, that matters, every evidentiary motion. All the evidence against him, the car, the phone dumps, the cell towers, his own computer searches. The cops did a very good job here. They got a lot of stuff. From what I see, the evidence was very, very strong. And yet, there's been a plea deal on the table that the defense just took. What gives? Under Idaho's victim law, the victim protection law, the prosecution has to talk to the victims' families before they make a call like this. And it doesn't sound like they did that so great. The victims' families are very upset. Now, at the end of the day, it's up to the prosecution. The victims' family's role is consultative. It's not dispositive. They don't get to make the decision. The prosecutor does. And remember something. The prosecutor ultimately has a client, like every lawyer, and that client is the people of Idaho, not specifically the victims' families. That's just the way our system is set up. So the prosecutor has to make the decision on what he thinks is best. So why would he do this? And why would he not keep the families well involved? You got to now enter the area of speculation. From where I sit, it comes down to 2 things. Number 1, they feel like there is an appealable issue here that they could lose. Lawrence Jones mentioned today on the air that it was probably the DNA. I think that's probably true, unless there's some other thing that the police did that they screwed up procedurally. The challenge to the DNA, it looks strong to me that they would win it. But maybe you never, you never know how an appellate court could go. It's a constitutional issue, probably of privacy, and so it could all go all the way to the 9th Circuit, and they just might not like their chances and might not want to deal with it. So that's one possibility, that there's a flaw in the case that they fear on appeal. Because remember, the current deal, life without possibility of parole, no appeals, is the deal that's on the table right now. If that goes through, you lose all of that, and this thing is over for good. But here's the second thing that I'm not hearing anybody mention. Remember that there is a potential leak investigation. The judge was very pissed off that all of a sudden all these shows were coming out that seemed to indicate that witnesses and other people were talking, and he had a gag order in place. And the feeling was that it came from the law enforcement side. The judge asked the defense, do you want me to appoint a special prosecutor? And a lot of us were saying, why isn't the defense jumping all over this? I would have jumped all over it. Well, now you see why. I think what also might have happened here is that the prosecution knows that chances are the defense is going to say, we want a leak investigation. It's going to go to the prosecutor's office. Somebody in the prosecutor's office did these leaks, maybe even got paid. That is an ethical nightmare for some lawyer on the law enforcement side. So whether it was a prosecutor, whether it was a cop, maybe it was a secretary in the clerk's office, we don't know. But somebody leaked a lot of information, and a judge seemed to assume it came from the prosecution side. This deal ends that as well, because if the defense doesn't ask for that special prosecutor to investigate, that special prosecutor likely never gets appointed. And as a result, the whole thing goes away. Brian Kohberger goes to jail for life without possibility of parole and without possibility of appeals or further investigation. That feels to me like the most likely scenario of what transpired here, but I don't have all the facts, and we may never have all the facts. The hearing is going to be tomorrow, that is Wednesday, at which point he changes his plea deal, but we probably won't get much more information tomorrow. I'm Paul Morrow for the Ops Desk, and we will keep an eye on this.